Hello everyone, welcome back to the Cozy Soul Knitting Podcast. I'm Saoirse and this is episode 12 of this podcast. If you're new here, hello, welcome. Glad you found me so that we could chat about knitting. And yeah, so this is my second time filming this intro. My camera just turned off while I was recording and I had just started, so not sure what that's about. So in this podcast, we're going to be talking about what I've been knitting on for the past few weeks. I think it's been about 3 weeks since I last filmed my podcast. I usually try to film on Sundays, and I think just the past few weekends have been really busy and I just didn't feel like trying to squeeze in a podcast episode. It's been a little bit longer than I would have liked. I'm really trying to film these every 2 weeks because I feel like that's a good amount of, knitting time and, less that I have to remember to talk about in each podcast. So that's what I'm trying to do, but every once in a while things just get busy. So October is always a pretty busy month for me, so I kind of decided I would just push this episode back because this past weekend was really the only time that I felt like I had to film. And yesterday I filmed the podcast and then I just felt like I was rushing through it the whole time and I didn't really feel like trying to post that. I just was like, no, I want to slow down and just kind of really, not try to speed through these projects. I want to talk about them. I want to enjoy it and just relax. And yeah. So I'm refilming today, which is Monday. I think it's the 16th. Yes, it's the 16th. And I wanted to make sure that I don't speed through it. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'm gonna talk about my finished objects. I'm not wearing anything knitted today. The first one I have to show you is the 27 Color Snood. Let me make sure I'm showing the front of it. I mean, it's not really like a front and a back, but there is where the beginning of round is and you can kind of see it, so I'll show you guys the front of it. But yeah, this is the Snood, and it has been a very nice cozy thing to have to just kind of put around my shoulders, so when it's chilly I can knit and not need to be bundled up in a blanket or anything. Like, my hands are free to knit, but I can be cozy. So this is a Blue Sky Fibers pattern, and I will put the designer name on the screen because I never remember it for some reason. And yeah, it's knit up in their Woolstok worsted. So for this project, you can buy bundles for it, and the bundle came with 4 skeins of the main color, which I chose driftwood for my main color. I think the original bundles come with cast iron, which is a kind of dark charcoal gray. And I just thought I would rather have one that's a little bit lighter. I don't know. Just thought it would be kind of cool. Then it also comes with their little mini color bundle. So you get every single color that they have in this yarn, and you get to work with all of them, and I thought that was really cool. I have a ton of ideas now for color work because I'm like, oh, those colors look good together, those colors look good together. So I think it's just a kind of a cool way to sample all of the colors. I mean, that's not the only reason to knit something like this, but I just thought, that was kind of a bonus, is getting to see all of the different colors worked up and in person. And yeah, so now if I want to knit with this yarn again, I can bring this out and choose the color from here. But yeah, I really I enjoyed this. The only thing that I didn't enjoy about it was just it's worked at such a big gauge that my hands were hurting working on bigger needles and switching to projects where I was working on smaller needles. It was just a little painful on the wrists every so often, but I think I finally kind of adjusted to it and it was fine at the end there. But yeah, I am glad to have it off the needles because I'm going to be taking a break at the very least from knitting on such big needles. Like I don't want to be working on like, what is it, 6.5 millimeters I think is what I knit this on, or 6 millimeters. It's either a US 10 or a US 10.5, I can't remember, but I don't want to be working on those needles anymore. Never say never. I probably will again at some point, but hopefully not anytime soon. But still, it was fun to work on. I don't have anything else to say about it. It's super comfortable. I'll go ahead and like put it on for you. So you can kind of just wear it like a really big scarf, I feel like. I don't know if this would, like if you had a big coat on, you could kind of just do that. But it's really meant to go around the shoulders, and I feel like I always have a hard time like getting it to kind of go down my back, if that makes sense. Like it gets kind of caught on itself, but this is what it looks like. So super cozy, and it's just, again, it keeps me warm. I feel like I've been kind of like, if I'm not knitting or something, I kind of tuck my arms into it like this so that I'm all covered. It's kind of just like a mini little blanket kind of, so it's really nice and I like it. I'm glad that I knit it. I feel like it's gonna be one of my more useful knits. Not useful, I feel like a lot of my knits are useful, like they're sweaters, I can wear them, but yeah, I just one of my more worn knits, I guess, just because I've been kind of reaching for it almost every day. Even when I didn't have the ends woven in yet, I was still putting this on in the mornings to be nice and snuggly and cozy. So oh, I did also, because my gauge was off, I did cast on more stitches. I casted on 210 stitches because I wanted to make sure it would be big enough. I was like worried that I might end up making it like too small and then it wouldn't be able to come over my shoulders. I don't think I needed to do that. I think it still would have been fine. But also, you know, hey, now it's like extra cozy and whatnot. So I do think, I don't know for sure, but I remember people in their Ravelry notes were saying that they were following someone else's kind of modifications to this pattern to make it a little bit bigger. I don't know if those are available on Ravelry, but you could do some digging if you did want to make this and you wanted to make it bigger, because it only comes in one size, which I don't know if that's typical for this type of accessory. I've never knitted anything like this before, so I don't know if they would normally come in a couple different sizes or what, but anyways, it's pretty fun. You get to work with all the different colors, like all the stripes and everything. So it was kind of a mindless knit, but at the same time it was pretty engaging because, you know, you have to like pay attention to when you do the next color stripe and there's decreases and all of that. So anyways, that's my first finished object. I'm super happy with how it turned out. It's really, really cozy. Let me know if you have ever knit this. Let's see, I think that's all I need to say about it. Hello everyone, editing Saoirse here. I'm popping in with my dog, Lena, to chat a little bit about the next finished object. And the reason that I'm doing this way is because I feel like I have updated information and I wanted to redo when I was talking about this sweater. So that's why we're here, coming to you from my living room in front of my couch with my dog. There's a little bit of a mess behind me, please ignore it. But yeah, so this is my Semper sweater. It is my second finished object. I finished this a couple weeks ago at this point, I feel like. It's been blocked. I've been wearing it. I don't know if you can tell. There are wrinkles in this because I've been pushing the arms up. I've been not folding this very well and just throwing it places. It is definitely going to be one of those everyday sweaters that I can just throw on whenever. So I've kind of been throwing it around and using it when I need it and taking it off and putting it on the back of my couch, putting it on the back of chairs, leaving it all over the place. I have not been being very gentle with it. I don't know why. I'm usually very gentle with my knits, but for some reason this one I'm like, it's fine. I don't know. I think it turned out really well. This is, of the like basic sweaters that I've done, this is definitely my favorite. And I feel like most of the sweaters I've done are basic, but except for the Lanark pretty much, I think. But this one came out, like turned out the best. I don't know if that's because I'm getting better at knitting garments or if it's just like the design of it, I don't know. So I will say that it fits really well. I love how much positive ease I got. It's like kind of perfect. It's not, you know, oversized by any means, but it is, I feel like, a nice, relaxed, comfy, cozy fit. I knit it up in Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair, both in the colorway Hazel, and I love the color. I love the sweater. I really enjoy it. As far as like the directions go for the sweater, I feel like it was very beginner friendly. I feel like you could, I don't know, you could probably knit this as your first sweater if you wanted to. Like, I don't see why not. It does have short rows, but I don't think that short rows are really that complicated. And yeah, other than that, I mean, it's a raglan. The raglan is pretty, again, pretty simple. Nothing crazy going on with this sweater, but it fits really nice, at least on me, I feel like. And yeah, what else? I did the tubular bind off. I think I've only done 2 of the Knit Purl Girl patterns, but both did call for the tubular bind off, and I went ahead and did that because I felt like putting in the extra effort and making the bind off look nicer, as nice as possible, I guess. And then it does have a folded collar that I also really like the look of. So one thing I do want to mention with this sweater, and this is why I kind of wanted to refilm this section, was because I did kind of go and look and I found some new not like new information, but I just looked and kind of updated myself on it and wanted to refilm this part. So this sweater specifically, the sizing, I have learned. I learned while I was watching Handmade with Kay's most recent knit and chat. So Kahila did a knit and chat, I think it was on last Saturday, and I was watching it while wearing this sweater, and she talked about this sweater specifically because it's kind of an example of when you look at a pattern and you think, oh, this must be size inclusive because of the amount of sizes, but then if you actually look at it a little bit closer, it's not considered to be size inclusive. And so I just wanted to bring that up while talking about it, that it's a pattern that at a brief glance you might be like, oh cool, it has 11 sizes, it's size inclusive, but it's not. If we are going with the 60-inch standard as like the, you know, it needs to have at least 60 inches plus however much recommended ease. If that's the standard we're going for in terms of what it means to be size inclusive, then this does not qualify. And I just wanted to bring that up because I had that same thing where I looked at this pattern and thought it must be size inclusive. It's got 11 sizes. How could it not be? So I just wanted to share that because I feel like if somebody was looking for a size inclusive pattern, they might look at this and think, oh, perfect, but not really. So I do want to say though, and this is where the updated info comes in, I was looking at, I just wanted to take a look. So looking at her most recent pattern release, which is the Semper cardigan v-neck. So like the cardigan version of this sweater. So this one has 12 sizes. And looking at the finished circumference of the garment, it does look like it could be considered size inclusive depending on how much ease. So the pattern calls for 2 to 4 inches of positive ease for sizes A through H, and then 2 to 6 inches of positive ease for sizes I through L. I am not a designer. I don't know anything about designing. I don't know anything about grading. I'm not sure why the larger sizes have a bigger range for the positive ease. And I feel like, so like if you were going for say 3 inches of positive ease with the largest size of this pattern, it would be size inclusive technically. But if you wanted 4, 5, or 6 inches of positive ease, then it seems like it's no longer technically size inclusive. And that's something that I do have questions about in terms of when we consider a pattern to be size inclusive. What, like when that ease comes in, because that's so subjective, like I think that it probably doesn't matter what bust size you probably have a different preference when it comes to how much positive ease you like. For example, I wouldn't want this to be much tighter on me, but if this had been a Crayabea pattern, for example, it would have been a lot more snug because she does like it to be a little bit more truer to size. So that being said, like, I don't think that it's not like, oh, larger bust sizes always like a looser fit, right? It's like it's a preference. You're gonna have some people with smaller bust sizes who love oversized things, just the same as you're gonna have smaller bust sizes who like really tighter fitting things. And same thing with larger bust sizes. You're going to have people in both camps who like a little bit looser and a little bit tighter or closer fitting. And so that I get confused on when it comes to positive ease and size inclusivity, because it feels like, well, a pattern designer could just be like, oh, this is just like, it's supposed to only have 2 inches of positive ease, so it's size inclusive. And I've also seen patterns where like they don't say what the positive ease is, and then it's like, okay, well, if the positive ease for that pattern is 6 inches, it's not considered size inclusive, but if the positive ease was 4 inches, it would be considered size inclusive. So I don't understand how that works. That's a question that I have. I feel like that's not something that like anyone can like answer definitively. I feel like it kind of is going to depend on your opinion when it comes to size inclusivity. So yeah, I'm going to continue to watch people, you know, listen to people talk about this topic and yeah, but I just wanted to say on a positive note, I guess, that it does seem like she is trying to fix her size ranges. So hopefully they'll continue to get better. And I'm just gonna look at her most recent, like her summer pattern, the crescendo camisole also has 12 sizes. So let's look and see. This one looks like, again, it's just on the line. Like it could be, but it depends. So this one calls for negative ease. So actually I think, yeah, in this case, this would be considered. This would be, I think, considered size inclusive. So I'm not sure. So I think it seems like she is trying to do better with her sizes. So I just wanted to point that out. I don't know. I just feel like we should, you know, celebrate when there's kind of some wins like that. I'm sure a lot of people would say that her size ranges still need to improve, and I am, of course, all for that. I think could always add a couple more sizes to be, you know, a little bit more size inclusive. But I just want to say that while this size range for this and the Farnham tee left a little bit to be desired, it does seem that she is trying to make an effort. So I hope she continues that. And yeah, other than that, I just wanted to mention that because it's been on my brain ever since I watched Kahila's Ninja, which I will have linked down below, by the way. It's just been on my brain lately, and I just felt like I wanted to mention that about the sizing while talking about this, just because it was something that I learned, and maybe it's something that you've now learned. I don't know, but that is The Semper sweater, I don't know if I mentioned this by the way, but the yarn, I am obsessed with this yarn combination and like I will definitely be knitting with it again. It's very soft. It's like kind of pilling a little bit, like, I don't know if you can see. Sorry, this is awkward. Like you can see it's kind of pilling a little, but it's a really soft fabric that I feel like this creates, so like I'm not really mad about it, and I think it'll probably see how it depills over time and things like that. And yeah, I loved working with it and I love wearing it. I'm actually wearing this with just a sports bra underneath, and at first when I first put it on I was like, oh no, this is gonna be really prickly. I've been wearing it with shirts underneath for like the past, ever since I finished it. This is the first time I'm wearing it with like only like a sports bra on underneath, and I'm like, it is a little prickly. It was a lot worse when I first put it on, but I feel like now I'm like, I don't really feel it, like maybe like a little bit right here, but it's not bad, and like I feel like I don't really mind it, and it's kind of like going away as I've been sitting here, so that's cool. I was like worried if I didn't know if I'm mohair sensitive or not yet, because this is actually, again, the first sweater that I've made with mohair that actually turned out well and that I'm going to be wearing a lot. So I think that's all I had to say about it. So really happy with this finished object, and I'm excited. Finally feel like I have like an everyday sweater that I can literally just throw on every single day. And I want to explore other, you know, basic raglans and kind of see which, you know, compare them, see which one I like. But overall, I feel like I would knit this again if I wanted like a different color, because yeah, it fits really well. It might need an elastic at some point, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So anyways, back to past me talking about my whips. So let's move on to whips. I have a few to talk about, not as many as I feel like I normally do. I'm actually not, I'll just get this one out of the way. I bought some hand-dyed yarn. I bought a bundle that was meant to go along with a Pacific Knit Co. pattern. It's the Autumn Doodle Cowl, and I did purchase that bundle. So I'll talk about that in the acquisition section as well, but I'm gonna put up the photo of the hanks of yarn because they're all in here, and I don't know what happened. I outsourced my ball winding to my mom, and I don't know if she was having some trouble with this yarn or what, but the cakes are a little loose and they are falling apart on me. It's fine. So I might, like, I don't know, probably won't try to recake them. I'm just gonna deal with it. And I don't have very much to show you guys, but this is the start of the Autumn Doodle Cowl, which is a colorwork cowl, and yeah, that's how much I have so far. So literally nothing. There's a provisional cast on too, if you see that. I don't know if you can tell, but it's there. So and yeah, I do really like the yarn. It's very it's really nice, it's really beautiful. It just didn't cake up very well for some reason, so I don't know. I'll have to ask my mom if she was having some difficulties with it, or if like the ball winder was being weird on her or something. But anyways, that's my first whip. I don't want to talk about it too much just because I don't have a lot of progress, and it's not, like, let's be honest, it's not going to be finished in time to wear it for the fall. I feel like, we'll see, maybe I'll surprise myself, but I just feel like with the mystery knit along and my other projects, it's not going to get done very quickly, but that's okay. So speaking of the mystery knit along, I will go ahead and show you my MKAL shawl. And what else do I want to say? I did the spoiler alert, by the way, if you're like, I have barely knit up Clue 2. Like, I just started. I'm only a few rows in, so you probably won't be able to tell anyways, but I have started Clue 2, so spoiler alert for that. And I don't think I showed any of, yeah, because I don't think we had started when I filmed my last podcast. So this is the like not the original version, that if you know what happened with that, you know that the original clue was taken down, and he came out with an alternative design, and yeah, this is what it looks like, and I love it. So silver lining, I know that that whole thing was, there was the whole thing with the original Clue one, and I don't really want to get into it on this podcast, but silver lining, I love this design, and I thought it was so cool to work on because it was like you were knitting in the round, but it was also like you were knitting flat at the same time, like with the way that the square worked up. So it was just super fun, super engaging. I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I'm super excited to continue to work on it and to get more of Clue 2 done and see that part worked up, because I've seen pictures, it looks so good. And yeah, so I'm just really happy with this. And when I had started the original Clue, and when I realized everything that was going on, I frogged it because I was like, obviously don't want to continue with that. And then I was kind of like, well, I don't know if I want to keep going with this MKAL. I'm going to be behind, like maybe I'll just pick it up later when I have like more time, I don't know. But then once I saw his video, when I saw Westnet's video of, you know, the new direction that he was taking the MKAL in, and just how compassionate and empathetic he is as just like a human being, I was like, no, I need to do the alternate Clue one to, you know, support him. I need to keep going with this MKAL and support, you know, show my support for him, because, you know, he was just like, I don't know, it was really like hard watching that video, because he was just like, you know, he's tearing up, and I was like, I'm crying, you're crying, everyone's crying. And I feel like he did such an amazing job handling that situation. He did it so gracefully, so compassionately, so wonderfully, and I hate the fact that there were people out there that were like mad at him for taking down the original Clue. Come on now. So I just wanted to knit up the new design and show my support, because also he did it so quickly too. He whipped a new design up that would still work with the rest of the shawl, like so quickly. He did that for us, like, yeah, I wanted to show my support. So this is where I'm at, and I can't stop holding it up on the camera because it just looks so cool too in the viewfinder, like from kind of far away. Like I'm just like, ah, it looks so good. I'm so excited for this. Yes, okay, let me put this away. Also, if you're wondering, I'm using the Baroque colorway, the Gradient bundle. And it's from Life in the Long Grass, and I'm loving the yarn. I feel like it's working up so beautifully. It's really nice. I love the colors. I do have a sock whip that I probably won't show because I'm still working on the foot of the first sock. I don't think I've made too much progress on it, but I'm knitting it here and there, but I haven't had a chance to make like super decent progress on it. So I'll move on to my last whip, which I need to change or join a new ball of yarn soon. Okay, so let me see if I can do this without getting, oh my goodness, all, try not to get tangled. Hadn't I started this my last podcast? Yes, I think I had. I think I'm pretty sure I had. Okay. So this is the Home Cardigan by Caidree. Kind of lean back a little bit. I feel like it doesn't fit in the frame. I'll also try it on for you guys as well. So this is I am knitting it in Knit Picks Wonderfluff in the shade Hare Heather. I'm going to try to put it on. I'm working on a sleeve. We're on Sleeve Island. And for some reason, there's a huge, I'm not really sure why that tail is there. Okay, and then, let me put this on. feels, oh, this feels kind of, I'm putting this on over a sweatshirt too, so this might not like be super representative of it, but I have a good amount of sleeve. Obviously needs to be a little bit longer. I like to hide my hands in my sleeve, so I'll probably make it, might make it a little bit longer than the suggested length. And then also, I don't know if you can see, I've done the body and the ribbing. I feel like it looks very nice. Well, actually, because there's supposed to be ribbing on the cuff, so maybe I won't knit it to the specified length because I think I have like 4 more inches to go, and that might be too much. Maybe I'll knit it to here and then do the cuff, because I do really like to like pull my hands into my sweater sleeves. Okay, and yeah, so I feel like this is, I don't know, this is gonna be perfect for like layering too, because if I can fit it over a sweatshirt, then like, oh, I'm gonna be so cozy. Okay, there's alpaca fluff all up in my nose now. Okay, I think I have some of my eyelashes too. I'm gonna take this off. What do I want to say about this? So I think I already mentioned in previous podcasts that I just wanted a basic cardigan pattern to knit up so that I could feel more confident in doing some other cardigans that maybe have, you know, more details to them, like for example, the Leith cardigan from Crayabea. I didn't want to do my first cardigan and also be doing intarsia for the first time. And also, oh, this is another thought that I'm having. There is a cardigan that I think Young Folk Knits is knitting currently, or was knitting, and it had like cables on it, and I cannot remember, it was a Sandnes garn pattern. I think after this I'm going to place my order to buy it because I don't want that. It's hard to find those booklets, I feel like, for some reason. And I want to make sure I get my hands on it. I'll worry about getting the yarn for it later, but I want it because it was so beautiful. It was like, oh, such a beautiful like cabled cardigan. I really want it. Anyways, so this was just like a must for me. So get my first cardigan out of the way. Obviously, you know, different cardigans are gonna have different constructions. This one is a drop shoulder, but I just wanted to do something that would be, you know, quick and easy. That's why I chose the bulky weight version. There is also the Home Cardigan Light that I can't remember what it uses. But yeah, I just wanted to practice my cardigan making before doing a more complicated one. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I honestly did not mind knitting flat. I feel like it was taking me a really long time, but it was not bad. I did not mind it at all. I definitely prefer knitting to purling. It's like I don't mind purling, but I do like knitting better, but I don't mind it. So like, yeah, knitting flat is kind of fun, actually. It's kind of nice to have something a little different, though at one point I was kind of like, okay, can I just join this in the round, even though I'd have to steek it and I don't want to try to do that. So yeah, anyways, so that is my home cardigan. Hopefully by the next podcast it will be done. Probably won't have buttons because, knowing me, that's gonna take me a while to like find buttons and sew them on, because I'm probably gonna procrastinate on that, but that's okay. So that leads me to acquisitions, because those are my only kind of current whips. I do have other ones that are kind of languishing right now, but yeah, so back with a new battery. Hopefully this didn't change too much. So acquisitions. So the first ones that I'll talk about are from Moonglow Yarn Co. And the bundle that I bought is I think it was like the Haunted Rose Garden Bun, something like that. I'll put it up on the screen. I'm pretty sure I took a picture. Yeah, and I maybe I'll also pop up like some from their Instagram. And then I also purchased, so those are the ones where the cakes are kind of falling apart a little bit, so like I didn't want to take them out of the bag because I just want to move them as little as possible. But I am doing the Autumn Doodle Cowl by Pacific Knit Co. With that yarn. And then I couldn't help myself. I purchased it was like the Pumpkin Chunkin set. It was for socks. I'll put a picture of that up as well because I also caked those up. Well, I had my mom do it. And yes, isn't that cute? I'm going to be doing the Hey There pumpkin socks. For some reason, I was like, yeah, I'm totally ready to cast those on. So I had my mom cake up the yarn for me, and then I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that because I don't know if I'm going to cast them on soon. Again, needless to say, maybe I don't need to say this, but mine will not be done in time for Halloween, that's for sure. But they'll be ready to go for next Halloween, and that's what matters. So those are the some of the hand-dyed yarn that I purchased recently. And then I have actually 2 more sets of hand-dyed yarn. One of them I got from my mom a while ago, but I think that I forgot to mention it in the previous podcast. If I did, sorry for repeating myself, but I feel like I didn't mention it in the podcast. My mom got me some hand-dyed yarn when she was in Santa Fe, and this was like over the summer, I'm pretty sure. And this is the Knitted Wit non-superwash fingering. It's 100% merino, and I got the colorway No Money, No Prospects, which I'm pretty sure is a reference to the Pride and Prejudice movie. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know that they say that in the movie, but I don't know if that's what the intention of the dyer was or not. But yeah, so I'm gonna be trying to knit a sweater with these, and probably pairing it with like some mohair. I was thinking about getting kind of maybe like a cream colored like drops kid silk mohair at some point, so I won't be starting this soon because I have not bought the mohair for it. And also yeah, I was thinking about doing the Monday sweater by Petite Knit, but I'm also going to kind of look around and see what other raglan sweaters I could make with this instead. I do have my eye on the Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Maid Designs, so I'm going to see maybe if this yarn will work for that. So yeah, that's that acquisition. And then I had to snag some yarn from the Sorella Halloween collection, and if they didn't have this shade or this colorway, I wouldn't have bought anything. But I am a sucker for olive green, and so I bought the 31st shade. I bought 5 skeins, and I got the Stellina base. It's the fingering Stellina base. So if you can see, there's some gold Stellina in there, and I'm just obsessed because I feel like it looks so good with like the olive green, and it's gonna be a little sparkly. I'm very excited for it. Don't know what I'm gonna knit with this yet. I bought 5 skeins. I was thinking the Moonset Tee by Ozetta. I don't know if I have a ton of yarn for that, like if I have too much yarn for that and I should maybe do something else with it, or if I don't remember. But that's kind of what I was thinking, but I'm gonna look into other patterns as well and just see, you know, what'll work best with the amount of yarn that I have. Very excited for using that. I just feel like it's so beautiful. I can't wait to knit with it and get that like sparkle. It's very exciting. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm really having like a little bit of a green moment, which is fine. I love green. My last acquisition was I bought some Drops Daisy. Again, whatever live stream Tiffany was doing, whatever that was, where she was talking about Drops Daisy and it was on sale and everyone was kind of like, okay, if you buy it, I'll buy it. And I bought some. So I got I'm pretty sure this is the caramel shade. It doesn't say on the ball band, it says color 12, but I'm pretty sure it is caramel. And I bought 20. I bought 20 just to be on the safe side, so I'd have more than enough to do whatever sweater I wanted to do. So I don't know what I'm gonna knit with this. Give me ideas, but I have 20 balls of it, so it's something like, it's like over 2,000 yards of yarn, so I feel like there's a lot of options for what I could do with it. It feels very soft, so I don't know, a lot of people are like, oh, it's gonna be so good if it doesn't pill. I feel like it's gonna pill because it's so soft. I don't really see how it couldn't, but maybe it'll surprise us. But it's so soft, and I think it's gonna knit up really nicely, and even if it does pill, I'm gonna have a really soft sweater. So that is all for this podcast episode. I hope that you had a good time watching. I hope that gave you lots of time to knit. Definitely let me know what you knitted on while watching, if you were knitting. Let me know what projects you're thinking about doing. Yeah, I think that's everything. So I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Hope you get lots of knitting time in this week, and I will see you in my next podcast or my next vlog, whichever one comes first. Bye!
Alright, this is a song that I wrote about falling too fast, but I wouldn't know anything about that.
I don't wanna lose my grounding, so you catch me not responding, and I press my lips together so you don't find any answer.